Today I am wandering through a market for the deceased. There are more clothes for ancestors here than there are clothes for actual living people. 祖先都没见过的东西，我们现在的人类都给他们烧。
对，让我想起来我的童年，当时我外婆也是把我这么带过来的。
你怎么把那玫瑰的姑娘领来了？
Hello from the middle of nowhere. I'm Katherine, an American living in China, and I'm currently on a bike tour across North China with my husband, Asa John. In today's vlog, we're making our way from Gansu province to one of China's most obscure regions, Ningxia. We'll watch the landscape transform from a river valley dotted with temples and shrines to mountain village roads with mosques and pine forests. From interesting funeral customs to local snacks, from unique architecture to encounters with the locals. 什么东西啊?
Thank you. See you. Thank you.
This was one of the most fascinating sections of our bike tour yet, and we hope you'll be joining us.
家大现在，
他是美国人。
哎呀，我美国人这个怎么能到？我这里的美国人没见过你美国人，
你没见过是吗？
没见过吗？
好呀，现在见到了。
你啥族？
我是维吾尔族。
维吾尔族。
对，你见过维吾尔族吗？
没见过。你怎么把那玫瑰的姑娘领来了？
这是缘分嘛。
对。
This is life every day along our journey, being the first American and sometimes even the first Uyghur seen by villagers who are so confused how we possibly ended up here. But actually, it's pretty simple. Almost a decade into living in China, I've already seen most of the major tourist spots, but my desire to travel and explore is still unsatiated, so I just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into random unknown places, and that's what brought me here. Not having any famous tourist sites doesn't necessarily mean a place isn't interesting. It just means there might be less restaurants, there might be less hotels, there might be less fancy infrastructure, but sometimes you get entire cool things all to yourself. Where there are caves, people will carve Buddhas and Buddha-adjacent items in the caves. The indoor ones are very well preserved. They're safe from light, wind, water, everything else. But the outdoor ones kind of look like a mummy. Like they're barely recognizable as what they once were, and they'll probably just be completely worn down to nothing in another few hundred years. This guy, for example, no idea what this is, but it's still cool. This is actually just one of about 40 different Buddha grottos in this region. The landscape is so full of tiny caves that it is perfect for carving Buddhas in. And just a few kilometers down the road from here is the tiny city of Jingchuan, which is where we'll be staying tonight. The sun is setting, now it is time for a small city nightlife tour. Let's see what's going on a Monday night. This is what expression? 你上进就好好上嘛。 As usual, the nightlife was not disappointing. Not only was there a lot going on, there were also tons of nice places to walk, but even more interesting was the market I encountered the next morning. It's definitely a strange sight at first glance, a market that is completely filled with objects made out of paper. Actually, all these objects are physical representations of things that people want to send their ancestors in the afterlife. Knockoff money, like we saw in the previous vlog, is the most common one, but there are so many other things available at this market.
It is not enough to burn money for the ancestors anymore. You gotta make sure they look good, they got a nice house, they got a nice car, they got a massage chair. The Chinese funeral industry is always surprising me. Every time I think that I've seen all the things you could possibly burn for your ancestors, some new thing comes out on the market. 多少钱一件衣服呀？
这个是3块钱。
哦，
这是认识的，那是认识。
还有帽子啊。
不要的买好，帽子、鞋、衣服，你说。
可爱。给祖先烧手机吗？
对呀、
现在这么厉害了，什么东西都给他们。
现在有的都有。
祖先都没见过的东西，我们现在的人类都给他们烧，
对，
好玩。If you can't afford one of those really cool house-looking tombstones, they've even got you covered here. You could get a cardboard one to at least show the ancestors, yeah, money's kind of tight right now. We can't be dropping thousands on a tombstone, but we're thinking of you. Of course, there's some stuff for living people here too, like vegetables. This帽子很可爱啊。
帽子啊，帽子几块钱？
我也买不了，美国的祖先应该收不到吧？如果这个烧给美国的祖先，他们能收到吗？
可以啊。
全球连同的是吗？But if you feel overwhelmed by all the things that you're supposed to buy for the ancestors, worry not. There is a cheat code. 那也是烧给祖先的吗？
啊，就是。
整个。
啊。1张1块钱。
它是啥呀？
这就代表的就是那超市衣服，那吃的东西都有，穿的用的，车啥东西都有。
就烧这一张纸，就代表所有的东西都给他了。这不是作弊吗？
这就是表示你的心意到。
哦。
水果、服装、娱乐城嘛啥，然后你看用的东西，超市、耳环、手镯啥都有，吃的。
If you don't want to buy all the things, you can just buy the whole grocery store. After perusing the ancestor market, it was time to head to our next destination. Today we have a 75-kilometer ride ahead of us, but it's all flat, so actually it's fine. For once, we are not spending our day going in and out of ravines. I thought we were done with funerals after leaving that market, but just a few minutes into our bike ride, we heard some very familiar music. 葬礼，是个葬礼。If you didn't know any better, you'd really think this is some kind of party. Everything is so colorful and so ornate. It just feels like it's some sort of happy celebration, but it's a funeral. Although, depending on the age of the person, sometimes a funeral can be a somewhat happy occasion because you're celebrating that this person got to live for that long.
30年走不出这一片山沟沟，月光把思念捏成了小米粥，蒲公英带不走我的乡愁。
of interesting things happening today, folks. Second funeral of the day.
I think, not gonna lie, I've never seen this exact custom before, but guys in white almost always means funeral. Or something funeral adjacent, because a funeral is not a one and done thing. There are customs like the annual tomb sweeping day and burning money for the ancestors on the spring festival. In some regions, the 3-year anniversary of someone's death is commemorated with a funeral-like event. There are probably all sorts of customs throughout the country that I'm not even familiar with because there's so much regional variation. In the US, one might visit the gravestone of a parent or grandparent and leave flowers, but overall, I think the custom of commemorating one's ancestors, especially far back ancestors, is much more deeply rooted in society here. Not only did we encounter some interesting rituals on this day, we also passed by so much cool architecture. I lost count of how many temples and shrines we saw.
从西安过来的。今天是什么特殊的日子吗？我们路过了好多葬礼啊。
我咋在过死人呢？俺爸大人嘛的。没有明白，你明白了吗？
我也没有。
你也说你的英语呗，听不懂的话，他也听不懂，你也听不懂。我妈就听不懂。
要炸了。
After the previous days of biking in and out of ravines all day long, today's route seemed so easy. It was as though we were riding a motor scooter. 75 kilometers later, we reached Pingliang before sunset.
This is Pingliang, the last stop before we enter Ningxia. Wow. Very nice. The trash cans here are actually hidden under the ground to maximize the aesthetic value of the sidewalk.
Dinner was fried flat noodles and this tomato soup full of another noodle that looks kind of like a grub actually, but it was really good. And the next morning, it was finally time to head to Ningxia.
我老家在喀什，去过吗？
去过，
怎么样喀什？
还是可以。我在新疆住了20年。
跟我一样，我也今年才30。
Little did we know, this grandpa would be the last person we interacted with for the upcoming 4-ish hours, because we spent most of the day getting over the mountain that separates Pingliang from its neighbor. There are no villages up there, so there weren't many people, but the scenery was fantastic.
Wide awake in a spell, smoking like a signal in a dream. Silver dollar sinking down, and dizzy lightness in between. I found you just like an open window inside a new shade of green.
Peak spring scenery right now. A bunch of people are in this valley taking photos with the blossoms. Finally reached Ningxia.
Southern Ningxia is heavily populated by the Hui people, a Muslim ethnic group, so we'll be seeing a lot of mosques around here. They might look similar to Pingliang's Buddhist temples at a glance, but they have more glass and columns and are usually in a more central and easily accessible location, while Buddhist temples prioritize locations with good feng shui, like being on the side of a mountain. Goth chickens.
Look at this fluffy boy.
防水吗？这么早？让我想起来我的童年，当时我外婆也是把我这么带过来的。我们家用木头做的那个车。
什么东西啊？
Thank you, see you, thank you, thank you, see you.
放上去便宜点，需要物件，确定便宜点，需要物件，需要物件，放上去便宜点，需要物件。
First night in Ningxia, we are staying in this village at the foot of the mountain.
This is our room. We got a nice view out the window. Love these tile roofs with the little critters on them. Cute little thingy on the wall. And this adorable coat rack. TV. Couch that we covered in stuff in like 5 seconds. It do be like that, huh? Look how cute this place is. We're staying in this adorable little village. So this part of the village has a bunch of these cute rural inns in it because people will come from the city to this place, especially during the summer, to escape from the noise and the hustle bustle and the traffic and just appreciate the silence and beautiful scenery of rural Ningxia. Here is a charging port for an electric car. It's the slow charge, like the one you just plug into a wall, but if you're staying here overnight, it doesn't really matter. Just let your car charge slowly throughout the night. And now we're gonna go wander in the village. 买啥呢，宝贝儿？
买这个给我喜欢喝起来。都是我小时候喜欢的，小时候的味道。哎，小时候这一个是，应该是2毛钱，现在1块钱一个。
那个时候大家也赚不到钱呀。
对。
This is one of Ace John's beloved childhood memories. I've never even seen this thing before. It reminds me of a block of styrofoam. Let's give it a try. Sweet, kind of sticky. It's pretty good, but it also just feels like you're eating a block of styrofoam. You know, you just can't get that association out of your head. Alright, now it's time to try whatever the heck this is. 这也是你小时候经常吃的东西吗？
什么呢？这边说。
So if you've ever had a latiao before, that's basically what this is. Like teeny little strings. Wow. He is wolfing that thing down. It's not bad. I just wish they would choose sweet or salty and just stick with it instead of making it like this weird mixture. 给我留一点嘛. He didn't save me a single scrap. He devoured this thing so fast. I knew I heard a sheep in here somewhere. This is another latiao, but it's in a sheet form instead of like a strip. Spicy, salty, oily, the ultimate classic Chinese unhealthy snack. The flavor is 5 stars, so I'm gonna steal the rest of this one. Breakfast time. We got meat and pepper thingy. What looks to be cabbage.
Onion. 这是啥呀？
这是纸包包菜。
长得太香了。
And the star of the show is definitely the crispy braids. Look at these. His favorite, crispy braids. John is befriending village grandpas around every single corner. Yeah.
这是我媳妇儿。美国的。
你好。
来浪一浪。这个媳妇儿咋的？美国的。
对对。
哎呀，你还找美国的。
Yep, no matter where we are in the country, this is always one of our most frequently received comments. I guess it is a bit unusual to marry a guy whose hometown is about as far away from yours as physically possible, but I'm just glad I found someone who shares my curiosity and passion for exploring. And in the next vlog, we will continue to explore and we'll head deeper into South Ningxia, from city life to more quiet villages, even to the top of a mountain. There are lots more interesting things awaiting us in Ningxia. Stay tuned and see you in the next vlog.